My name is Edward Blamo. I'm your host, and as well, I'm the Media and Communications Officer at Centar. And I'm here ably assisted by Mark W. Bondao. Mark is the Media and Communications Assistant at Centar, and we're bringing you this program. This radio show serves as the primary radio based communication and information dissemination platform of Centar. It is also a key advocacy tool that provides essential information about the state of the fight against corruption and national integrity building efforts, as well as promoting a culture of accountability, transparency, and evidence based decision making across all sectors and institutions in Liberia. We will take a very short break, and when we return, we will talk briefly about some of our activities at Centar and introduce our guest. Integrity Watch. As we stated, this is your hour-long radio program that is produced by Centar's communication section. It is part of our National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program, where we give you, members of the public, the opportunity to interact and participate actively in discussions around corruption, make your contributions, make your recommendations, and be active in the fight against corruption. This video program were designed because there has been the observance that a lot of people don't, actively participate in corruption related discussions or corruption issues. We rather sit on the fence and complain about corruption and complain about government being corrupt, but to have citizens playing the active role, first by reporting allegations of corruption, by joining in the fight, joining into conversations, elevating conversations around corruption at the national level. These things were lacking. So we organized this radio program so that you can participate. You can, report allegations of corruption. We can tell you where to report. We can guide you in the various efforts that we and other actors are making, all geared towards ending this scourge of corruption in Liberia. And this is part of our National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program, which is supported by the government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Corporation Agency. As you may be aware, Centar and CEDA have signed an extended partnership agreement which will continue the National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program for an additional 3 years, from January 2024 up to December 2026. As part of that program, we are running series of activities, one of which is our Advocacy and Legal Advice Center. That center is housed at Centar, and we have lawyers there. They are trained and they are willing and ready to receive your allegations of corruption. We're working closely with the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Once you report allegations of corruption to ALAC, and the lawyers review the complaints and they find merits, they will forward that complaint to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, who has the direct power to prosecute allegations of corruption. And will also inform you by will inform you as the case proceeds when it reaches the or point where it is now going to the court, and is on the dockets of the court. We're going to alert you about all of the progress regarding that particular allegation that you may report. So be encouraged. Report allegations of corruption. Call Center's Advocacy and Legal Advice Center. The lawyers are trained to protect your identity. No one is going to disclose your name or your identity or whatever that resembles you. You're going to be protected. So all you need to do is to report corruption, and let's end corruption in Liberia. The number to call to report corruption is 4432, and it's free of charge. It's 4432. It's free for both Lone Star and Orange subscribers. Center, through the National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program, has paid for that number. So we are paying for the cost of the call that you are making. So all you need to do is to call. Just call. The lawyers are there to receive your complaints and act appropriately. Also, you could send an email in case you don't want to call. Send an email to elac@centar.org.lr. Again, it's elac, ALAC, @centar.org.lr. Once you send an email to that number or to that address, the lawyers at Center's Advocacy and Legal Advice Center will receive your complaint. You could also leave a WhatsApp message to 0555-722-113. Again, the number is 0555-722-113. Once you leave a WhatsApp message to that number, ELAC, the lawyers at ELAC, will receive your complaint or your allegations of corruption and will act appropriately. We're working in 4 universities, UMU, AMEU, Stella Maris Polytechnic University, in the University of Liberia with our Integrity Club outreach program. In case you are a student of any of those universities, you can reach out to the administration or the bulletin boards and ascertain as to how you can join the Integrity Club. We have an army of young people who are trained periodically, regularly. They conduct awareness in their various classrooms. They talk to their peers, and they are ambassadors of integrity at those universities. In case you are interested in being an ambassador of corruption or ambassador of integrity, an anti-corruption ambassador, you can join any one of those integrity clubs at all of the universities that we named. If you're a student of the AME University, you can go to the administration or visit the bulletin boards, and you'll see information there on how to join. If you are also a student of the University of Liberia, we have the information at Fendel campus and at main campus. You can access information about how to join the Integrity Club and be an ambassador of integrity. The same is with the Stella Maris Polytechnic University and the United Methodist University. Our open expenditure outreach program, we are working to conduct research around the budget process. We have launched our monitoring report of the government's earlier days in office, of the president's earlier days in office. We are also in the process of reviewing the national budget to know the trends and the allocations. All of those activities are happening on our open expenditure initiative. We're also working with county councils, county officials to ensure that there's transparency around county social development funds and there's inclusivity around the expenditure of those funds. So we ensure that everyone's voice is heard around how those funds are spent, so that one individual or few individuals cannot make decisions on behalf of everyone. That if, for example, funds will be allocated for a project in the county through the county social development funds, that decision will be unilateral. It will not be unilateral. It will be the consensus of the women groups, the youth groups in the county, the disabled people, and everyone. That is the kind of work we're doing on our open expenditure initiative. We have a couple of other things we're doing. We're working with governments, anti-graft institutions, on our National Integrity Forum. There's the GAC, the LACC, the PPCC, and you just think about those integrity institutions. They are all on the National Integrity Forum. We provide support to that forum through our partner, the CEDA. We, coordinate the activities. They do a lot of things. They are erecting billboards at various institutions, providing services to the public. NASCOP, they have billboards there with what of the fees for services. You go out to Liberia, at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, there is another billboard there erected. At the Liberia Business Registry, they have a billboard there. Ministry of Transport, they have a billboard there. A lot of other places, Liberia Immigration Service, Bureau of Vital Statistics, a lot more. So the National Integrity Forum is ensuring that there is transparency in government service delivery. That if you want to seek service, that you will have information on what is it that is required, what you're supposed to pay, and once you have that information, you will go and demand that service, and that the likelihood of being exploited will be reduced. So these are some of the things we are doing at Centar. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we will talk to Philip K. Farley. Philip is the Senior Manager for Communications, Information, and Public Affairs at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. We've had a lot of things about LEC, some positives and some we say, well, unstable power and a lot of things. So he's going to be telling us some of the challenges the LEC is faced with, some of their plans, the short, medium, and long-term plan of the Liberia Electricity Corporation to ensure that there is sufficient power in Liberia. Let's take this break, and once we return, we will be speaking with the communications manager at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Let's take this break. Welcome back to the program Integrity Watch. And as we stated, this program is produced by Centard's communication section, and it's a part and parcel of our National Integrity Building and Anti-Corruption Program, which is supported by the government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency. And as we have stated earlier, we have as our guest Mr. Philip K. Farley. He is the Senior Manager for Communications, Information, and Public Affairs at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. Welcome, Mr. Farley.
Thanks, Edward, for bringing us on this program, the Integrity Watch.
Okay.
It is my pleasure being here.
Okay, to begin, let's tell us what is it like at the LEC? How, I mean, what's going on there?
Yes. So this is a question that many person, pose out to us, especially when we are appearing on such a program.
Okay.
And it's very significant to state here that the LEC is doing pretty well. And there are enormous challenges.
Okay.
And again, there are significant gains we have made over the period. I would like to state very clearly that the current management of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, this July the 22nd, we technically made it 2 years in assuming the leadership role of the management of the Liberia Electricity.
Oh, just 2 years?
Yes, and
okay.
the Liberia Electricity Corporation. So from 2012 up to 2017, LEC was placed under a management contract.
Okay.
With a foreign group from Canada called the Manitoba. They managed from the executive management down onwards to operations and HR. And they were executing everything that has to do with the LEC.
Okay.
And then the contract expired in 2018 and was renewed again with another foreign management contractors called the ESBI from Ireland until 2022 of July. And then the government of Liberia and the World Bank and other donor partners realized that it is now time that Liberia take ownership of their electricity sector. So it was from that pretext that there was significant recruitment made in terms of who's going to assume the leadership, a consummated professional, someone who had the donor competence. So this is how Honorable Captain and a team of other executive directors took on the leadership of the Liberia Electricity Corporation.
Okay.
And by that time, when we took over as a Liberian management team, I thought to give a very clear pretext of where LEC came from and where we are as a corporation. So assuming that leadership, the first thing, there were hurdles. The LEC then owed the EcoBank $9 million. We currently have about 1,060 employees at the Liberia Electricity.
1,060?
Yes, employees. And then we owed salaries and benefit to the staffs, significant amount. And as well as our thermal plant, 4 generators, all were functional. The Mancoffey as well, 3 of the turbines were staggeringly functioning. So under this current management team, we were able, in under 2 years, we were able to significantly clear out the $9 million debts owed to EcoBank, clear all of these tasks and all of its benefits.
How did you do that? How did that happen? So where did you get $9 million from to clear that debt?
So this is where we are going. So systematically, I want to outline, so that we do not mix the information, because I want to utilize this program to be able to. It's a transparency program. Yeah, so then what we did, we cleared all of those taxes and benefits. And you heard about the cross-border arrangement, owes, money owes to the Africos,
CLSG
the
line.
CLSG
Okay.
and Transco.
Mm.
And that was about 12.3 million. Today, we have had a significant amount paid, and we have had a clear repayment plans of all of what we have owed to CLSG. And with the intervention of the president, Joseph Yomambuaka, today we have mended a very good relationship with the CLSG. Now, where we are as a corporation is we have basic challenges,
Okay.
and there are three in categories.
Yes, but we'll come to the challenges
Okay.
generally later on. I would like, for example, let's do a little review of what we've done recently together, Centa and LEC. We have this capacity building workshop,
Yeah.
and to help entrench transparency and at the LEC. I think that was one of the challenges people had with LEC. A lot of people lacked trust. People thought that, there were people there who were doing dubious things. There were some people who were involved in meter theft and power theft and a lot of things. How has that particular training or capacity building session helped? What are some of the progress that you can see so far or you've seen so far?
So the training was timely,
Okay.
and because taking over a system and looking at the issue of credibility, we are in the country of credibility crisis, and all that require is consistent training, and that could potentially impact staff members, improve their morale, especially when they are informed of these ethical standards, and when they understand that what integrity is. Most people will tell you that integrity is doing the right thing when nobody is saying,
Yep.
and adhering to ethical standards. So what the training did, it was positioned, and it has improved the morale. It has improved customers as well as staff members to understand the role of LEC. LEC itself, the taking responsibilities of actions and whatever it is. So, but this time, staff members who benefited from that training are fully aware of what integrity is and how it plays a very pivotal role in the consolidation of an ethical society.
Okay.
So it was very significant, and it played a very essential role. Today, a few of our staff members, and we believe this will be a rollout process. There should be a consistent training with the partnership with Howard Center.
Okay.
This training could be rolled out to every department and every single staff member, because the issue of transparency, integrity, and accountability, they are the very three key pillars of a very improved society. So it's very significant, and the
Okay.
training has impacted us mostly. Yeah.
Okay, there's been other issues. I mean, we're coming back to challenges now, and yes, we've had a lot of issues from the public. People complained about inconsistent power supply, and sometimes when you ask, and then this blame is put back on power theft and meter theft. How are you working as a corporation to address all of these things to ensure first there's consistent supply of electricity, and then there is a curb on theft at the LEC?
So let me take on the power theft. And firstly, power theft is a meanings, is a two-way street, is a beautiful monster. In the context where people who enjoys the freedom of engaging in power theft, using the service free of charge, they enjoyed it. It's the beautiful part of the power theft. Is the most reason comes in when it is taking 45% of LEC's revenue.
Wow.
And as well, one thing that people fail to understand, that even those who are fully aware that a colleague, a neighbor is engaged in power theft and refuses to report these issues or complain, or these customers or whatever it is, technically they are the ones that are paid on behalf of those who are engaged in power theft.
Wow.
So this is a national call. This is a call to action that people should be able to report issue of corruption and power theft in itself under the law. It is a second degree felony. It's a crime, and it is punishable by law. So it becomes an issue of corruption. And so what we have done over time, when we took over in July of 2022, power theft was about 70%. So under the innovative context, we now realize that it was stripping us of our financial stability, where that we can be able to sustainably manage the corporation and invest back into the sector. And so we created a team called the Anti-Power Theft Unit, which is the APT that is being coordinated by Madam Mary Bro. And that team is in every community, every time, and supported by the Liberian National Police. Like I said, it's a second degree felony. So it is a very serious crime.
Do they have extra powers, for example, the power theft team? Do they have extra or powers, or are they completely embedded with the LEC, or do they have some, autonomy or something, or freedom or whatever?
So it's an ACHOD unit, and set up under the LEC, but to distinctly perform, because what we notice again is that, and there are different departments by structure. LEC was created by this act of legislation in 1973 and amended in 1976. Now, we looked at where can we fit a unit that will be exclusive from. So what we did was ensure that it do not report to anybody. So it has a co-chairpersonship with the chief executive officer. Because we understand in our country, people abuse authority. They abuse the issue of a position. So we thought it wise that this unit should be a structure, an ACHOD structure that will function exclusively and without taking instruction from other departments or who is a supervisor, but then it's a co-chairpersonship with only the chief executive officer and Madam Mary Bro. So that function, that strategy was envisaged, and it has been applied to other countries as well. That is an innovation that has now reduced substantively power theft from 70% to 45%. And we intend to sustain this reduction and even go beyond. So the power theft function in as with the Liberian National Police. So it is a joint operation of the Liberian Electricity Corporation, the APT, and the Liberian National Police. So we have that structure, and it has helped us to reduce the commercial and technical losses drastically.
Okay, so we'll come back to some of the your plans to extend power to other communities. There are a lot of communities in Monrovia who complained about lack of access to power, and who've seen consistent demonstrations in Caldwell, for example, the Caldwell Township, and then later we saw power. We've seen similar thing in Burrowville, and then we're seeing some things going on there. Is it that community has to demonstrate, or they have to go on the rampage and cause chaos and run amok before you come up and do something about that?
So the Liberian Electricity Corporation has three critical challenges. One is power theft, and the second is energy generation and supply, and the last is the last is how can we ensure that we have an improved customer service. Yeah, so LEC as a corporation, look, to have electricity independence, it will require huge capital investment. And so what we have done as a corporation, firstly on power theft, is to ensure that we continue to sustain the strategies on how we have reduced substantively the technical and commercial losses on power theft. And when it comes to energy generation and supply, we again, and from our scientific research, we believe that currently we have a coverage in 4 counties.
Okay.
That is Moserado, Mangibi, Bomi, and Cape Mount. And by the research, we believed that the energy demand stands around 400 megawatts.
Wow.
So the 400 megawatts, Liberia was fundamentally constructed to meet 35,000 customers. That's why the McCoffee was constructed to power 88 megawatts.
Ah.
So we only have that hydro that is now supplying about 285,000 customers. So that is a drastic increment in the customers' base. So from 35,000 to 42,000 when we took over, and now it is 82,000.
Okay.
So what we have done over time is to ensure that we complement the McCoffee that produces 88 megawatts. And our thermal plant, the generators, we have repaired all of our generators, and it producing 38 megawatts.
Okay.
But it is capitally invested in what we generate.
Okay.
So 1,500 gallons of fuel is being used per a generator per hour. And we're talking about 4 generators. So this is why we have reverted and signed what we call the PPA, the Power Purchase Agreement with Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
That is, we are importing about 50 megawatts. So even if you have an addition of 50 megawatts, 88 megawatts, and 38, you cannot meet a demand of 400 megawatts.
Okay.
So what the corporation has done through our resource mobilization strategy is we have now secured about 300 million to construct a second hydro that will power about 200 megawatts.
Where will that hydro be constructed?
The hydro will be constructed upstream of the St. Paul's River in Gong County, Foreman District. So the social environmental impact assessment is currently ongoing, where we will be able to assess people living around, how they were tied onto the livelihood of the river. And all of these assessments have to be approved by the World Bank. Besides that, during the dry season, significantly, there is a serious decline in the water put into the McCoffee. So instead of powering 88 megawatts during dry season, sometimes we have even alternatively 0. So this is why doing
zero.
Yes, because the water decline at the McCoffee, because the hydro uses water to power energy. So when there is a decline during dry season, what happens is that we do not power energy at the McCoffee. So what happens is, this is why, and during dry season, basically from January to June of every year, you realize that there are significant power outages.
Okay.
And it's because of this is the only hydro we have. So what we did to be able to supplement McCoffee in the time of the construction of the new hydro that is about to be constructed and to power about 200 megawatts, we are constructing the first solar farm in Liberia to power 20 megawatts. And that process is ongoing. In the next few weeks, the contract of constructing that solar farm will be signed in the next few weeks.
Where will we be constructing that solar farm? Where will it be located?
So it's at the same Harrisburg.
Okay.
Yes. So all of the initial designs have been developed.
Okay.
So that will as well complement the McCoffee during dry season.
Okay. So you're listening to Integrity Watch, and this is your hour-long radio program that is produced by St. Charles Communication Session. And we are here talking with Mr. Philip K. Farley. He's a senior manager for communications, information, and public affairs at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. We are talking LEC, the challenges, short, medium, and long-term plans of the corporation, all of the efforts they are making in a drive to ensure that you have power, and not just to have power, but you have stable power and efficient power. If you're out there, you like to participate, the number to call is 0770-436-728. Again, is 0770-436-728. Once you dial that number, you will be live on the program Integrity Watch. Again, is zero. I think this should be somebody. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Okay, I want to appreciate your studio giver so much for the hard work, but this is my free recommendation. The first thing about the power theft is that the LEC ourselves created this power theft. When they come to power theft, in 90% of the power theft, LEC ourselves created it. Why they created it? Number one, they will use people, they put them on a contract, and those guys from the same community, after some time, they will tell them again a project where the community people know those people that they're working, and after a few times, they will put them down. So after putting it down, those guys that when they draw already have no authority, have nothing to get money from others. So the only option they left with is that to live in our community and try to help other people and try to put other people on power. That's number one. Number two, also about the power is that to LEC herself, if you have a problem, you call them. Sometimes it will take me 2 to 3 months. And those people want any electricity is a habit. More people get used to it and they want to continue with it. Why is it 2, 3 days or 5, 6 months or 2 months they are not coming around? They will ask them about their job to also help any person has to put on power test. So these are the problems when it comes to the power test, LEC or self created. It's still an insane. They have already created the power test, anti-power theft convention. Yeah, they created an emergency unit where if somebody have a problem, how long when they call in, they'll be able to appear. And tell them when your meter have a problem, going from meter to LEC, you will run behind the meter until you get that energy to put yourself on direct. So these are no problem that creating a power test in the country.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's see this person. Let's see what we can join this person. Okay, so yes, the number to call again is 0770-436-728. Let's take this person. Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Emmanuel from Dinsdale community.
Let's hear you.
Just say, the situation for me, I'm volunteer worker for Labrador Electrical Corporation for over 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I work TNT, cable crew, cable maintenance. But management are not seeking our interest at all. We work out let's say at the end, when we have anybody in the system that will apply for all, they put all that for no reason. At the same time, when the supervisor when they need all, they call aside, they screen all and work. No impact, no improvement for us.
Okay.
So I don't know what management is doing for it.
Okay.
I did do improvement at the office. They tell no being it now there too.
All right. He's taking notes and he's going to respond to your query. Let's hear this person. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
My name is Jonathan Johnson there.
Let's hear you.
Okay, we have a serious problem with the company LEC. Since January, I applied for meter. Up to today, I'm not getting a meter. When I went to the place where they went to Provide Junction, for up to talk after they had a tool there. Then when I applied for a meter, when I went there, they said they gave my meter to somebody, and the fee is a to distribute the meter. Since January up to today, I'm not getting a meter. Anything I put there, they say they will call you, they will call you, they will call you. Then they just put that in another person's case. It's not a senior person. They will want to see current. Once they apply for the meter, and you can't get the meter for more than 4, 5, 6 years, you automatically tell the person to see current.
Okay.
Now. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's take this other person. He's listening to your concern and he's going to take note and respond. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, let's hear you. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Melvin Kawolo, and I call from Red Light. Good morning, Mr. Fali. I got 2 issues and some recommendations. With the power tip, I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm one of the top follower on LEC social page.
Okay.
So I follow them all of the time, and thanks for the work. They are improving all of the time. But the issue with this power tip, LEC has to do more about this power tip. Have a report team or the APT, make them more reports, because like my community, they had to visit my community over I think over 4 or 5 months now. They are not been there, and and people don't have meters in the places that they are on power tip.
Okay.
You see, so that's another thing. And because myself, I had a problem with my CIU. That CIU was the meter was updated, and after I updated my meter, the CIU could not pair with the meter again. And I called our LEC office. They were all coming, but they never came. Even when the guy called me to come, there was no power in the community. So if I was somebody who was used to power tip, I was going to put my meter on power tip. I stayed in darkness. But I had to call somebody who I knew personally from LEC, and they came and they sort my stuff up. So the customer service also on the power of the customer service, they need to be reports.
Thank you.
If they are not reports, I mean, people will continue to go on power tip.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's take 2 more, and then I'll speak to Fali. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
My name is Jeremiah, and I'm training from District 15.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to your studio guys. My first time then joined to I got a meter issue. I really want to know how much for meter. Because I can remember we were buying meters from the side that I want left and one grand to the documentation. When I came with that recent time, I trying to do some inquiry to get our meter by Lana is to the 150. So if it is 150, if so, then they do that one analysis, or they do that one observation to know how many address have a full meter, and to pay that 150. You can learn that even when you bring the meter, they put that coming to come, destroy it, you gotta get it from there as well. So how many address, because these are things that causing a while the power issue, because if meter can be sold for 150 and address people we see now the situation now they have no constraint of ongoing. So I don't know. So I really want to know from the studio guy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Thank you very much. He wants to know how much for a meter. Let's take this last call. Good morning. Good morning. I think this line is so very noisy. Let's take this other one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, let's hear you. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mike. I call from Johnsonville.
Please move away from your radio.
Yes, I'm far away from it.
Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, I got 2 points to make. I want to say thank you to the studio guests for coming in office, at least in studio to harmonize some issues. But one here is that my dissatisfaction, most of the agents they put on the field to work on their LEC issues. If there's a mistake, most of the time when they come around, they bring down people's meter. They don't carry the meter to the office. They sell it to put money in their pocket. 2, when they cut the wire, when they cut people's wire, they will not do anything about it, but they will carry it and sell it. Most of the time, you go all around in Raleigh, other places you see the LEC wire there, with the LEC people have already sell to other customers. Not just that, if these agents come around and notice that in the community they come there, they meet people door close. They meet other people, now as him, they will still claim on that pool and cut down the wire, and the person is not around. When they come back down and they leave their wire cut off, they fall how to get wire and they can't get any. So next time, what the person will do when they pull wire there at the end of the day, you'll not see the pull wire LEC talking again because why? The LEC people themselves give room for corruption.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your points are noted, and I think we will call it a day for the calls and get back and get to you two for response. A plethora of concerns, comments, and what have you. How do you respond?
Yes, so the callers, they all made valid points and inputs. So let me start up with the issue of someone said that they will work and then on contract
Mm,
and they will not be hired. LEC as a corporation cannot hire all electricians in the republic.
Mm.
So what we have done over time is to be able to empower local Liberians company.
mm,
So these Liberian companies that we subcontract is another form of ensuring that we increase the level of employment in the country
mm.
and to provide opportunities to other young graduates from other vocational schools around.
Okay.
It does not mean in any ways that LEC will have to employ and over 10,000 electricians in the republic. That is the first thing that should be stated here.
Okay.
And once you are a contractor and your contract ends, that does not give you any right to illegally go and tamper with LEC's assets or its infrastructure, illegally connect people. That is absurd. That is totally the reverse of being an integral person. So that's something that we should not do. So LEC cannot do that.
Okay.
And the aspect of improving customer efficiency,
Yeah, that's
we are also making sure that we set up all these different functions and units,
okay.
and we are training customers to be able to be more efficient,
Customers.
and customers as well. Like for example, and we have our community engagement team that goes in a different community
Okay.
that do these smaller workshops, help the communities as well to understand their role and as a customers as in the efficiency part of our customer relations management, and as well the meter aspect. Someone asked whether we sell in meters. We do not sell meters. What you pay is connection fees. Just a single meter costs us about $250 at most for residential customers. So we do not sell meter. We actually buy these meters, and what you paid is the connection fees.
Okay.
So we gave our agents the different, and like for example, the connectors, the wires, and all of these things. And what you pay is a connection fee.
So
And
can I, as a customer, can I just request and say, LEC, I need a meter, and will you bring the meter? Will you give me that meter?
Of course, but you have to pay for a connection fee.
Okay.
Yes, that connection fee is where we have the agents coming to your house, bringing the wires, the connectors, and everything, and to make sure that you get connected.
Okay.
So it is not you. That is a property. The meter becomes a property of LEC.
Okay.
And to the aspect of, we have just signed under this new library management.
Can you use that as a pattern comment?
Yes.
Or meaning?
Yes. If a meter framework agreement that will gave us about 300,000 meters, and shortly we're going to be doing mass metering campaign. So what we're trying to say is that in as much as with the power theft, we are about to decentralize the offices of the anti-power theft in different communities to be more efficient. So we are telling those out there, people on our voices now, that LEC is doing what it can to ensure that we make energy affordable and ensure that our customers are satisfied.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of Philip K. Farley. Philip is the Senior Manager for Communications, Information, and Public Affairs at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. He was my guest on this edition of the program Integrity Watch. Until we catch you next Wednesday at 11 a.m., my name is Edward Blamo. I am your host and the Media and Communications Officer at Centaur, and I'm here as always with Mark W. Bondau. Mark is my able assistant. In case you want to know more about what we're doing at Centaur, you can visit our website www.centaur.org.lr, or you would like to know what we were doing our analysis of the national budget. We have a dedicated platform for budget analysis, and the handle is liberiabudget.info. Until next week, bye bye.
What is this? We really fall down inside. Amen. For God's sake, sir, you don't have eyes to see stealing all over this country.
Well, wait and see. The solution